All right, so welcome back to this week's market preview. So as usual, we'll run through what happened last week, and then we'll dive into what to expect for the coming week. So the time I made the last market preview, we were somewhere here, and I mentioned the fact that fractal OF was still bullish and volume trend was still bullish. So we are basically expecting price to come take out this fractal low, right, to give us our weekly buy. But I mentioned the fact that that is going to be a little bit unlikely, that instead we are likely to get an intraday buy setup, right, which is basically what happened on Tuesday. We have taken the trade on EU, hit our FTSE. Then the trade on GU, the SL was quite large. So we have a rule that we usually use in the FXP, and that is that if the dollar futures, the trade on dollar futures, the equivalent setup on dollar futures hits the full TP, and the individual, any of the individual pairs hasn't hit that full TP, then we're just basically going to move our SL to break even on the individual pairs. So we got TP1 on GU, move the SL to break even, and then we are basically taking out, which is quite good because if not, it would have still been in a drawdown right about now. All right, so positive week. So quickly, let's dive into what to expect for the week because there are other things I want to talk about. Looking at the fractal OF, you could still see that we had this. This was the last break bullish. So we have this fractal low that's formed here. And then depending on what happens tomorrow, this could become a fractal low as well, right? So Friday could become a fractal low. So the US elections, it's less than 2 weeks away. So I'm expecting that there's going to be a bit of consolidation going into that event or even a reversal on the USD. However, we are not seeing that yet. But of course, there is NFP this week on Friday, so anything can still happen. So we'll be watching volume closely to see what happens from here. But for now, we are still bullish. We are bullish on swing short. We are bullish on the fractal OF. We are bullish on the volume trend. So if we go to our H4, we could see this is likely going to become a fractal low, right? Given the time of the day, it's not likely that we get a massive movement to take this out. So this is likely going to become a fractal low. So what we're expecting is that tomorrow or later in the week, price comes to take out this fractal low. And when this fractal low is taken out, then we'll start looking for reasons to buy in the lower time frame. So someone has asked me for what's the reason to buy and all that. If you go and look at my previous videos on the fractal OF, on the swing shorts, you know we usually look for our entries on the 30 minutes. So we look for a change of state candle on 30 minutes for our entry. In the FXP course, we actually have another entry method that we also use, which most times gives earlier entries than the change of state, but that is reserved for those who are in the FXP. All right, so that's basically what we are to expect from a weekly perspective. We're waiting for this fractal low to be taken out and then for price to give us a reason to buy on the lower time frame. All right, so for our intraday models, GU is still bearish, right? So GU is still bearish, but we're looking at H4. It's bullish on H4. So it broke to the upside on Thursday, right? It broke to the upside on Thursday, and it has not broken any fractal low yet. So until this breaks a fractal low, all right, it closes below this fractal low or any other fractal low that is formed as the week goes on, we are not going to be looking for sells of our intraday model. So at the moment, we're just looking at the weekly trade models. My suspicion is that by the time we are getting to this place, it's likely that the USD basket would have taken out this fractal high. And if you remember, I've mentioned before, once we have a fractal high created above previous week's high, once that fractal high is taken out, we stop looking for reasons to buy, right? Because we basically expect that we are likely to have either a consolidation or reversal from there. So those are things to watch out for. All right. So let's look at the economic calendar for the week. All right. So on Tuesday, we have the consumer confidence coming out from Germany. Always going to be monitoring the strength of the consumer. This mortgage approvals and all that's not really going to be much of a market moving event. Then we have goods trade balance from the US again. I don't really see any of this being a market moving events. The main things people are going to pay attention to is going to be the job numbers that is coming out from the US for the week. However, the CPI coming out of Germany on Wednesday, which is going to be key, as well as the unemployment rate. So that's basically the Eurozone. Germany is the biggest economy in the Eurozone. So anything happening there is very, very critical to the euro. So the CPI, that's basically inflation for those who are new. Inflation data from the various regions in Germany. And then GDP growth rates from Germany, Spain, and the entire Eurozone as well. All right, so we're also going to be having the ADP employment change. So this is likely going to generate some form of movement. And then we're also having GDP data from the US on Wednesday. So quite a jam-packed day that is going to be. So you want to keep an eye out for that. Now on Thursday, we have retail sales from Germany, and then the inflation rates from the Eurozone. I've mentioned before that this inflation rate from the Eurozone ends up not being a market moving event, because by the time the inflation report is in from the various countries, it's already factored in. Everybody knows what it's likely going to be. So by the time it eventually comes in, it really misses expectations, or even if it's going to miss expectations, markets have already priced it in already. So on Thursday, what we'll be keeping an eye out for is PCE. So the PCE, which is the Fed's, so while generally businesses, all of us keep an eye on CPI, the Federal Reserve uses the PCE as its own measure of inflation. So market participants will need to keep an eye out on that, see what PCE is doing, as well as personal income on Thursday. And then on Friday is the big one, the non-farm payrolls, or NFP, of course, which is also going to be coming in with all the other things, the average hourly earnings, and the unemployment rate in the US. And then later that same day, you have manufacturing PMI, especially this ISM manufacturing PMI. It's usually more important than the S&P global PMI. So from Wednesday, the market is going to be subject to a whole lot of data. So that is why I said we are in a place where they could use those things to actually engineer a change in trend. However, until that happens, we continue to trade we don't trade what we expect. We trade what the market is telling us is doing at the moment. So as for now, everything is bullish. So we remain bullish on the USD. So remember that I think it's for those of you who joined us from Simply Pips, or who has been following us from Simply Pips, Bishop Raj always likes to say something about the market. Basically, how should you be trading? So when do you buy? You start buying when buying starts. All right, you wait until the institution start buying, then you start buying. How do you know that they've started selling? When they start selling, right? So you don't anticipate. It's not a very, very good plan to anticipate that this is what they are going to do. You wait for the market to tell you, oh, this is what I am doing, right? And then you basically just join in along the way. All right, so that is that for what to expect in the week. We are bullish on the USD. So we are just basically looking for opportunities to sell EU and to sell GU, right? All right, now to the giveaway. I noticed that some people, the rule, there were three things we were supposed to do. The first one was we are supposed to, let me just open it up. I just open it up. So that is for here. So for my birthday, which is coming up ending of the month. All right. So the first one, you're supposed to fill and submit the form that is below. So if you read through this, at the bottom of the page, there is a form that is there that you're supposed to fill and submit. Then you're supposed to watch the giveaway video and then comment with your referral code and the word participating. So what I've seen is that some people, they submit the form, but they don't comment on the video. So your name doesn't appear on the rankings page because you have not fulfilled the requirements, right? So you're supposed to submit a form, but you're also supposed to go comment on the video, right? So and then some other people, they use their referee's code as their own referral code. So there are two codes that you're supposed to put in the form. The first one is the referee's code. That is the code of the person that referred you to this place. And I mentioned, if you go watch that video, whoever, if you're just coming from a YouTube channel, I put a code there that you're supposed to use, my own code, but it's not, of course, appearing on the rankings page. So if you're just registering from there, that is the code you're supposed to use. Now, your referral code is the code that you yourself want to use to invite other people to the giveaway, right? So there are two different things. So if you did that, you would have gotten an email asking you to change your referral code, either to refill the form or to send a response to the email detailing what you prefer your referral code to be, because you can't use that particular one. So you probably want to make that correction. All right. So the other thing I want to talk about is the FXP. So for those who have attended the fostering program in time past, that's the Heroes group, and whoever is in the FXP, I shared something with them. So for a very long time, you should, if you followed me for a while, of course, even before I started doing these videos, it has been more with EAs and all that. So I've always had issues around building EAs that trade successfully over a long period of time. And that is because market structure, there are limitations with market structure. There are limitations with market structure. Sometimes it lags and all those things. But I decided to go ahead and create one that is based around the volume trend. And one of the issues we've been having before in time past around the volume trend is the fact that our volume trend is based on the dollar futures, which is not really given to us on brokers, on MT4 brokers. So I found a way to bypass that particular limitation and build something with regards to that. And the results, I couldn't hold back my excitement earlier this morning when I ran the EA using the volume trend data. It's crazy results, really. The guys are just like, wow, 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 and all. For now, I'm just going to just keep that quiet. I'm not going to see what I'm going to do with that on the video until after the giveaway is ended. After the giveaway is ended, then I'm going to say some things because I don't want to influence the giveaway or people's participation in the giveaway. People who want to participate, let them participate. Those who don't want to participate, let them not participate. The other thing I want to say, to still influence it in a way, is that sometime in November, the price of the FXP is going to go up. Yeah, the price of every other thing is going to stay the same. The EAs are going to stay the same. SME cost is going to stay the same, but the price of FXP is going up. It's going up next month. So that is, just know that about that. So that will be all for now. Any questions, any comments, then you could just ask it on the YouTube page and I'll respond, or you could reach out on Telegram as well, and I would respond as appropriate. All right, so enjoy the rest of your week.